We're speaking with the Gins who live in Magnolia Commons. Andrew and Amber, if you could kind of state for me your feelings after the vote. How do you feel?
I'm not happy. They didn't take anybody's thoughts into consideration, especially about the families that live in that neighborhood. I mean, I'm ready to move now because I don't want to raise my future children in a prison that is right next door. So.
And Michigan, how do you feel about this?
I'm pretty upset about it as well. We moved to this neighborhood and kind of expected, great things out of it with everything being, so close by and everything, and then just kind of come as a surprise.
Good evening. I'm Melissa Goucher. I live at 53 Wren Street in Magnolia Commons. I was here at the last meeting, and I spoke to you all about, my concerns about the jail. If it would be okay, I'd like to present a petition that I had circulated within the community, and I have approximately 125 signatures of people who are concerned about this issue. If you allow me to, I'd like to read the contents of the petition and just...
Is that the email that you sent us?
The petition was connected to it. Right. Yes, sir, it was in there. Okay. So, if you'd rather I not.
You can read it, or we'll make the a part of our minutes.
I'd like to read it if it would be okay.
Pardon?
I'd like to read it if it would be okay, because I think it, I understand that this is a very emotional issue for everyone, and could I first say to all the aldermen that I appreciate the ability that you have all given us to come and that you gave us 3 weeks ago, Alderman Lauderdale, by tabling this issue. I really appreciate that. I personally appreciate that. And I realize that there's a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, a lot of emotional speech going on. But I do believe that everyone in this room, and I know I can speak only for myself, I'm only interested in the highest good for not only my subdivision, but the city of Hernando as a whole. I too chose to live here. My family came here on purpose. We love Hernando. I love living here, and this is I don't take up causes. This is the very first time I've ever had my name in a newspaper. This is not something I'm doing, out of any other goal other than to see what I feel like is the best thing to be done. And so I would ask you all to, when I speak to you, I do it with the utmost respect for the offices that you hold, and I appreciate that you've given us this opportunity. The petition says the following: we, the undersigned, do hereby attest to the following. We oppose the annexation by the city of Hernando, a certain property owned by James Malcolm Harris Jr. on Magnolia Drive, also known as Old Highway 51. The proposed annexation is objectionable, both as a method of satisfying the requirement of location within city limits of the county seat, any land purposed for a county jail, and as a means of a de facto rezoning of said property by the County of DeSoto from agricultural to industrial for the purpose of constructing a jail and any other structures associated with law enforcement now or at any time in the future. We contend that the annexation of this property, which by default allows rezoning of land use without approval of affected residents, will be injurious to subdivisions and not platted dwellings in its immediate vicinity for the following reasons. Incorporation of the property into the Hernando city limits and subsequent construction of a county jail on the premises will result in immediate detriment to residential safety, peaceful continuation of normal daily activities, and general quality of life for citizens in this area. Additionally, residents may suffer financial loss when property values in this area decrease, as activity in the immediate vicinity realigns in facilitation of the intended use of buildings on the property. Furthermore, residents in this area will be subjected to the behavior and vehicular movement of passers-through on streets that border a highly trafficked and round-the-clock active destination. The aforementioned harms are an inevitable consequence of the required resources and personnel associated with housing, securing, and maintaining a large group of people, especially when said group must be rigidly separated from the general population at all times, and will be visited upon local residents through no fault of their own. And I'm going to respectfully submit this to you. The last thing I'd like to say is that I feel like, I know the Board of Supervisors has worked for 2 years on this issue, and they're ready to see it come to a close. But I do not feel like the right property was chosen. And I don't feel like that just because it was the last property available, that makes it the right property. And I feel that annexing this property into the city for the purposes of allowing the county to build a jail on it is not true to the spirit of what an annexation ordinance would be for the county, for the city of Hernando, as I understand it after talking to the Attorney General's office and reading about, again, I'm not an expert on this, but I as a citizen don't feel like this annexation is a proper use of annexation regulations or unspoken rules or what have you. And I'm sorry that the city of Hernando is being put in the middle of this, because I know that you, as a council, have nothing to do with the decision about the land that was purchased. But I highly disagree with the fact that the annexation will allow a rezoning of a neighborhood to include heavy industrial type facilities.
What is the budget, long-term plan? What is the purpose of this jail that is being proposed?
The purpose of the jail is to house inmates for the entire county, including all the municipalities within the county. Gentlemen, I think you're aware of how our jail has developed over time, how it's been used. It's been added onto piecemeal to the point where long-term needs cannot be met because it doesn't currently function properly. It's overcrowded. The core facilities, the medical, the intake booking, the laundry and food service is overtaxed. If we added on one new bed to the existing facility, you have to start considering expansion of the core. Expansion of those core services cannot accommodate long-term needs on the existing site. So that's why we've chosen to look long-term, 25 years down the road, at what our jail needs and other facility needs will be. It's obvious that meeting those long-term needs, the existing site cannot be met, which is why we've chosen to look for a larger tract of land to accommodate those needs. As you well know, all of our other facilities are overtaxed. The courthouse is maxed out. Administration building, 10 years old, it's maxed out. We've grown by leaps and bounds over the years. The goal was to identify the needs of the jail, locate that facility, and also meet and use services from our consultant to devise a long-range overall facilities plan. So looking at larger tracts of land to accommodate the jail, but also accommodating ancillary facilities like sheriff's office and administrative spaces, court spaces. So this is a comprehensive approach. That's the way we've approached this from the beginning, going back 2.5 years. And it was a difficult task to look at that Board of Supervisors and say, adding on to this existing facility is not going to meet your long-term needs. It's time to go elsewhere. And unfortunately, we're confined to the city limits of the city of Hernando, which is the county seat of government. It was an Attorney General's opinion, but it's an opinion that was directed to the Board of Supervisors, in which we must follow. So that's where we are, gentlemen. And I do realize this has put you into a compromising situation, but DeSoto County is Hernando. Hernando is DeSoto County. This is the county seat of government. And with a lot of the luxuries of being county seat of government. Unfortunately, it's your obligation, for lack of a better term, to house the county jail.